Hello, world. Michael here. And today I'm going to be talking about how I started a job this past week. Yeah, it has been a week. I made it through it somehow, some way. This job is at a grocery store. It's actually a grocery store that I used to work with or work at like a couple years ago. I think 2 years now or whatever it is. But this time it's a temporary position. Back then it was the position I had was a permanent part-time position, and I figured I'd just send an email and with my resume and that I'm interested in a particular position, and the position I applied for is specifically a forklift operator and a stocker. To stock the shelves and the refrigerators and freezers and whatnot, excluding produce stuff. So I'm a little familiar with the some of the process and like just the layout, I suppose you could say. But not really particularly experienced with the whole grocery side of things of okay, stocking all these things and what goes on in the warehouse aspect. I mean, it's not even really a warehouse; it's really tiny. Um, but yeah, I made it through the week, and I am exhausted. I am tired. On top of trying to manage my time with learning web development on the side while having a part-time job. So right now it's only 32 hours a week. So far, my schedule has been looking like, okay, you work in the morning and then you got to go home like either around 3 or 4. It's been kind of mind boggling, or just trying to get used to getting home and then, okay, I have to like eat something really quick and then go study, which is tough. I don't know how anyone out there, if you're studying and going to school, I don't know how you do the studying and going to work at the same time. I don't know how you do it. I can't imagine doing that, especially if you're full time or even part time student. On top of having a part time or even a permanent job or a permanent full time position, I don't know how you do it. It's absolutely nutty that you're able to do that. So I applaud you. Um, but yeah, I'm struggling. This past week was just like I am. When I get home, I am one physically tired, and then that impacts my like just my my I don't know what you call it, my desire to want to study, because I'm just like I'm tired, physically tired. Therefore, I'm also feeling mentally tired, or just like I just want to go just lay down like Snorlax. Um, but um, yeah, I was not expecting to get the position. I was kind of hoping that I wouldn't get it, just so I could just stay home and do nothing with my life. Um, so yeah, I was kind of caught off guard. Had to stop by one of the days before this past week just to sign some preliminary paperwork and talk to the head honcho there, and the person ended up asking me, you know, to I don't know, no bullshit answer, just give it straight, of like my reason why I left my previous job, which I couldn't come up with an answer, and that's pretty much what I said. I'm still trying to figure out how to answer that, and this past week, a few other people have asked me, like, why did I leave my previous job, and didn't really spill a whole lot. My new immediate supervisor asked me, to be honest and be straight or whatever. And I just said, like, I made some mistakes, And then they asked me, like, are you in trouble? And I'm just like, I don't know. I think I was or am in trouble behind the scenes. Probably like there was paperwork filled, but no action was really taken in terms of on the legal or civil or whatever you want to call it. Um, so yeah, and I kind of want to elaborate about like what happened just a tiny little bit, just to say like I made some mistakes, I made some poor choices. I'm not proud of what I did, the things I've done. I'm still trying to forgive myself, and I know that it doesn't look good, especially coming back. At least I think it doesn't look good, and also like pretty much demoting myself, like leaving a higher position and then starting from the bottom again, I suppose. Because at my new job, which I wasn't really expecting, but I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna try to go with the flow. They told me you're probably gonna have to clean restrooms, so that is also part of my duties because no one out there wants to take those responsibilities of, doing janitorial services. And um, I never done janitorial work. I enjoy cleaning at home. One of the higher ups there saw me and they asked me, "Aren't you a little overqualified for that?" And it took me a bit to come up with a response. So I said, it depends on who you ask. But anyways, going back to the job, I mean that's all it is, just forklift unloading trucks, moving stuff to places where they need to go, and mainly restocking shelves, refrigerators, freezers, and then of course helping customers, which I do not like talking to the customers. I just would rather be alone, like left alone, just like leave me alone. But it's nice when you deal with like a, I don't know, easy customer, and especially when you know the answer, like, oh, you know where this item is. Most of the questions is like, oh, where can I find, or do you sell blah blah blah. Um, if it's a question where it's like, oh, do you have this? Then I'm just like, okay, if I do know that we have it, I can actually tell them where it is or bring them to the location, which is sometimes it's a nice feeling, but I mean, most of the time it's just like, yeah, whatever. It's just part of the gig. But like dealing with the easy customers makes it, I mean, easy and just pleasant experience to talking to like just civil people. Um, and then there's those customers where they're just antsy and they want everything, and which, uh, they believe the customers always right themselves, which that's such a malarkey phrase. But it is what it is. And this past week, I just reminded just how much like humans are animals. um just restock, like simple restocking stuff, and then you see the filth that like people leave. um so if you're ever at the grocery store and you're going by whatever items, and then you see just filth, you just see shit everywhere, like someone has gone through this and dug out and tried to move stuff around and then didn't care in the world to put it back because it's not their problem, it's not their job, blah blah blah. They just wanted the the item that has the longest expiration date, or you know what I mean. Meaning the expiration is so far out. They want that item, no item that's like even remotely uh less than that date. Which is just, I don't know, it is so annoying to see that kind of stuff. Like I understand like, oh, you can see um like an item that's longer shelf date or whatever, shelf life date, and it's easy access. Or even if it's not easy access, it's like a kind gesture, or just, I don't know, to me as like a person, if I were to go do something like that, I would want to put things the way they were when I first got there. I To me that just makes sense. But not everyone's like that. But it's just annoying and frustrating to deal with. And then on top of like dealing with just other um, team members, coworkers. I mean, it's not really coworkers, but just team members. Since I'm temporary, um, that I don't know. So like there was a instance where I was trying to restock something, and the last person that stocked an item nearby, they stacked it too high, so I couldn't put my stuff in there. Like I could probably only fit like 4 of that item, and then that was it. And then I would have to come back later, or just take a mental note like, oh, it's almost out, because people actually took some, because there's no space. There's someone just put like a ton of stuff that really didn't need to be there, because there's clearly like a rack or whatever you want to call it to put a different item. So I don't know what that is. It's just annoying to deal with. Yeah, again, this first week, I just feel like I was just thrown, thrown into a wolves. Like, here you go, take this thing or take this cart, figure it out. And then near the end of the week, I was finally told some tips and tricks. I guess I earned that passage. I don't know. But it was nice to get some feedback about how to do, or feedback and tips and tricks, whatever you want to call it, about how to do certain things. Like it's just, so far it's just me and my coworker. Even though like there's other team members in different departments, or they have different duties or whatever. So far I've been working closely with this other person, which is great, because they taught me some stuff, and just like gave me some pointers here and there and whatnot, and directed me on what I need to do and get done, which is nice to have. It's also, I guess, I've been trying to define my experience, or like I've been looking at it like, how did I get here? Not as in like, oh, I like got dropped off here, or like, oh, okay, we started here from this location and got there, but more like my life, like how I got there, specifically from my previous job, and then ending back where, not where I started, but just back to a job that I left for growth potential and a better career. And now that I'm back, I kind of feel, I don't know, unwelcome. Like it instills that feeling of not belonging anywhere, which I struggle um with or without this job. I still struggle with that. It's something I've been struggling for quite some time, for years, I guess. But making me think about like, just, yeah, how I got there, making poor choices, and I'm just back at square one. And I feel ashamed. As you know, I talk about probably shame a few times in the videos, these past few videos or whatever. Um, and it sucks. And trying to forgive myself and accept where I'm at in life is so freaking hard. It is so freaking hard. And then just working this type of job is just, it questions like just life in general. Even though I already did that before, with or without a job, I still question it. But it just makes my mind ponder about like, what is this all for? Like, is this it? Like, is this all it is? Like, this all seems pointless. Like, what am I working toward? Like, I know there's the, I don't know, philosophy of, going to work dividing that with what you do out of work. Like, so when you leave work at work, and then when you're out, you're doing things that are unrelated to work, doing things like, for instance, playing video games or making these dumb videos or drawing, reading, whatever it is. And it's not like I don't get satisfaction from that. It's just more like, I wish I could just do this and not have to go to work or do a job or whatever. But as part of adulting, I guess, but I don't want to be an adult. I want to be a kid still. Yeah, just thinking about just everything that has led me up to this point, and I mean, it's not helpful. It's just making me feel worse or terrible. Um, Questioning whether I deserve this job, even if it's temporary. I don't know if I deserve being there. Feel like someone else that actually really needs a job would probably be a better candidate. And it's also interesting because when I stop by um, the the head honcho's office or whatever, I don't know why I say head honcho, but the person who's ultimately in charge of the business, so to speak. And when I talk to them, they say like, hey, there's going to be a position open up in some odd months, think about it. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll think about it. And I'm just thinking like, I don't know if I deserve like second chance, third chances or whatever. And whether or not, I don't know, whether or not I'm going to be happy about it. I don't know if it's, maybe even thinking about it, being happy about it's just pointless because it's just a job. Circling back to like, treat a job as a job, leave work at work, go home, do other things, do fun things, decompress, whatever it is. But so far it's just like, okay, after work, study. Um, that's about it. I don't really have a whole lot of time unless it's the weekend. Like this today's Saturday. It is July 6th, 2024. We are over the halfway mark of the year. And just don't know what I'm doing. Trying to figure out, trying to keep on keeping on, but I just don't know if any of it's worth it. People say it's worth it, but haven't seen it yet. But yeah. All right, that's gonna be the end of the video. Long story short, yep, I got a temporary job. Thinking about taking a permanent part-time position. We'll see. Don't know. Humans or animals. I don't like dealing with people, but it's part of the gig. But it's also nice to help out easy or civil customers or other people who get it, I suppose. And don't know if I want to be super honest at work. Trying to stick to that boundary or create that boundary where it's like, okay, I don't want to get too close to people because I did that in my past, and I also was too honest and said things that I wish I didn't say. Yeah, that's the end of the video. Bye. Thanks for watching.